Hey, my name's Sam. I'm a studio furniture maker, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make recessed drawer pulls. You need a guide jig for your router, and I'm going to show you what the jig is, how to make it, and how to use it. If you're looking for a new woodworking project, check out the link below to my website. I've got some really good quality woodworking plans for new modern designs like these nightstands. So to make a recessed drawer pull like this, you need to make a guide jig for your router. And so your drawer face is going to fit snug inside of it. So the first thing you need to do is determine the target dimension of your pull. I want my pull to be about 7 inches wide or 178 millimeters. I want it to be 1 inch tall or about 25 millimeters. And then you just factor in the size of your plunge router's base. In my case, it's about 6.75 inches or 170 millimeters. And you just add, to get this total width, you just add that to your target dimension. So 6.75 inches and 7 inches, that's 13.75 inches. And for the depth, it's really similar. You choose your target dimension plus half of your router base's diameter. For the depth of cut, I like to aim for about 5/8 inch or 16 millimeters. The thickness of the drawer face should be about 7/8 inches or 22 mil. This is the finger pull bit I use. I buy it from Lee Valley. I'll also link another one down below so you can buy something similar. Now I've already made my guide for these drawer faces that I'm making, but I'm going to show you each of the components that go in to make it up. You need to make 2 identical width pieces. The first one is going to act as the rear guide, and then the second one is the one that references the bottom edge of your drawer face. So I've got my rear guide glued to this piece, which will reference the bottom of the drawer. And now for the right and left guide walls. So the basic form of the jig is made, the guide is set, but I need to add on 2 walls on the left and right side so the drawer face stays centered. Using Instant Bond glue is a really good way to get the jig assembled quickly, but you still should tack it together with some nails or screws to make sure everything is secure. So in essence, that's the design of the jig. When you have your workpiece ready, make sure it's pushed all the way back. Add a sacrificial piece where the router bit exits and clamp it in like this. When doing your routing, don't do it in one pass. You'll likely get blowout. So what I do is I put in spacers, about 1/4 inch or 6 mil deep. Go through it methodically until I get a nice clean result. So do 1 pass, take out your first spacer, 2nd pass, 3rd pass, and then your final pass at the end. So I've got my jig clamped down securely, and then I've got a sacrificial piece here which is going to protect any blowout from where the router bit exits. The guide's really simple. Straight in, to the right, and then you back out. So I've got my recessed pulls cut, everything came out nice and clean. Now it's time to sand on the inside. If you fold up your sandpaper like this, it'll match the contour on the inside, and you get a little bit of compression, which helps get a nice even sanding. Naturally in the corners you can get a bit of burning, so you need to be kind of tenacious and just hit the corners to start and then smooth everything out at the end. You don't want to be too aggressive and start with a palm sander or just hit these really hard, or you can damage the profile lines, and it's pretty hard to come back from that. So just take things slow, be methodical, and you'll get a nice clean result. So for finishing, I like to use Osmo Pollux 3043. I use a 3043 for darker woods like black walnut. Lighter woods, pretty much always use the 3051 raw. The 3043 from Osmo is actually satin, but I find it generally is relatively matte after 2 coats. This is just the first coat. I'll leave it for the evening, and in the morning I'll put on a second coat, and it'll give it a touch more sheen. Thanks for watching the video. I've got the drawer faces here installed, and you can get nice quality results like this if you go through the whole process methodically, make a good secure jig, and always test on a piece of scrap first to make sure you're going to get the results you aim for.